Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, DIGI. We are back in Euro Truck Simulator 2 because we are back in Japan. I decided to do some more runs in Project Japan after being away from this side of trucking for a while. I don't remember the last time that we did trucking on stream in Japan. I want to say it's probably a little while ago, maybe last month, or at least the beginning of this one. So we're here. Let's go ahead. Let's enjoy ourselves. Have a good time. And I'll be on for a little bit tonight. Maybe not that long, but I did want to come on and say hello and hang out. And probably at some point take breaks at the various rest stops and stuff to grab some food, grab some munchies, because I've been kind of snacking. Well, not really snacking, eating, but I have also been doing a little bit of running around today ahead of the weather which came through, which is probably seemingly already done. I'm not sure, but I know it. I know it like sleeted and iced earlier. It's probably still raining ice right now, but I don't know. I don't know at least. At any rate, I think we're good to go. Let's see what we can find. Let's grab some cargo. Unless I want to go somewhere else. Hang on. We are by. Oh, we're not that. Yeah, we're not that far away from. We're not that far away from where we were before. I don't know what JMU is. I know I can only go as far north as Jetsu to get some stuff. Hmm. I'm kind of curious. Well, let's start where we are first and see what jobs we can find. We can take some oranges back down to Osaka, or empty pallets to Kobe, which kind of sounds cool. Also pays a little bit more. Actually, pays a little bit more, but less per mile. How does that work? Ooh, 1,000,000 yen to Shikokucho. That'd be a bit of a medium haul. I don't know. Might be worth the trouble. Yokohama. Carrots. That's actually not that far. We'll see where we are after we deliver this. Interesting little car. Nice. Alright, let's go pick up our trailer, which is downrange. Hey Lyles, welcome aboard. Very happy to have you with us today. Hope that you had a very good day and a very nice Christmas week. Folks, if you do not know my friend Lyles. Please feel free to check him out, give him a follow. Friend of the channel and also likes to do um, RPG gaming. Hey, Craft and Fur, welcome aboard, my friend. Also privileged to have you with us today. Yeah, belated Merry Christmas. Happy Boxing Day to everybody watching. Or post Boxing Day if you are overseas, like my friend Crafton is. Yeah, this week blew by. I mean, literally. I, huh, what's the phrase? I, I can still remember coming into the work week on Monday and just being like, oh, okay, I've got Monday, Tuesday, and I'm off the rest of the week. And now I'm looking at Friday night and the weekend's upon us already, which is really crazy. Belated Boxing Day to you, Crafton. So we're taking, I think I said empty. No, we're taking carrots. We're taking carrots to Yokohama. We are in Kurobe, Northern Shore, and we're gonna go down to Yokohama to make our delivery. Okay, just made the turn. Now, let's go ahead and hit it. Back on the highway we go. Got a little bit to get to the port at I think at Kanazawa. So we got some drive time. Welcome everybody. Good evening to you. My name is Digi and I am tired. But yeah, for the curious, I did have quite a few days of running around in time with family. I got the chance to spend time with family yesterday, ate a nice chunk of good food. We have this kind of like new tradition, and I forget if we did this last year as well, but um, we ordered in, or I should say, they ordered in and obtained Italian. So on Christmas Day for dinner, we ate pasta, meatballs, like grilled chicken, sausage, Alfredo, spaghetti with meat sauce, and it was a very delicious and enjoyable experience. And then we had a chance to, on top of catching up and making the experience enjoyable and memorable, we we played a game and we swapped gifts, and we had a chance to sit and just kind of like take everything in and digest food and get a little bit tired. And then, we came home. Today, Mrs. Digi and I kind of continued the tradition of going to a store on the day after Christmas to pick over some of the clearance racks of, like, Christmas decorations and things like that. And as it turns out, we um, we happened to get some goodies as well. I picked up some peppermint bark, which is basically white chocolate sprinkled with what was I going to say? White chocolate sprinkled with peppermint, and also got some Stream Speak is a thing. Running start here. Ferrero Rocher chocolates. And you've seen the commercials for them, probably the ones that are like, gold or like tin wrapped or something. And the holiday version, the Christmas version is basically there's this container which has I think three or four different kinds. And one of the ones that I like the most, there's two separate kinds. There's one that basically looks like white chocolate with coconut sprinkled on top of it, and then there's like a dark chocolate, which is like a almost like a double chocolate with chocolate sprinkles on it, which are delicious. At least the last time I tried them, which was literally last year. I don't know if I don't know if any of you have have traditional like Christmas cookies or candy that you have that's part of like my traditions. I'm also not afraid to say, and I'm also happy to be a little bit transparent. This Christmas was more challenging than some of the ones I've had in the past, and I think as you get older, there's going to be moments where you miss friends and family that pass on, and sometimes in life you have a rough year, and Christmas is a place where like you kind of like drop your book bag or come home from college, or you have a few days off from work and you have like time to catch your breath. And last night it genuinely felt like a moment to actually rest and chill out. um Today was okay too. I had a chance to get some nice warm food in me as well. We picked up some food from a local kind of soup and sandwich place, and then we came back home before the weather really kicked up. It sleeted and it rained ice in my area. And for those of you that don't know, I live in the Mid-Atlantic USA. I've been to places like New York City, Philadelphia, DC. So the weather up in this part of in this part of the world is cold, and we had some precipitation come through. So when you have cold precipitation, it can be anything from like rain to ice to snow to sleet. So that's what happened. And I had that happen today. All right. By the way, folks, please let me know if for some reason we have any kind of audio issue or the sound levels are not to your liking. I can try to adjust them. I've had some difficulty with my microphone as of late. Um, I might one of these days get like an actual like microphone stand set up and dump a few extra bucks into making the experience a little bit better. I kind of have the ability to do that right now, so I might look into that after tonight's stream, just to see what I can do to improve the overall experience. I've debated improving my sound setup. I've also debated getting different controllers or doing things like that. Um, Also doing some other techie things. Yeah, so I do actually have, I'm blessed to say, sincerely blessed to say, I have a little bit of disposable spend, and I can order some stuff online, get it shipped, and have it in a few days. So I am debating that as a means of both kicking up the quality of the stream and also doing a few different things. Yeah, yeah. I mean, a few, actually, several years ago, my setup was even worse than it is now. So this, in some ways, is an improvement, but there are probably some things that I can do to improve my audio setup for the stream that probably won't cost me more than like 40 or $50. But I think a good microphone, or I would assume a good microphone, is probably going to run me somewhere between $50 to $75, which I happen to have. So I might do something like that. I might, but I suspect I'm probably going to try to do some kind of like all-in-one solution or something for audio, or do something else, which is probably going to allow me to do different things with the Raspberry Pis that I have. Like, for example, um, buying an NVMe drive and an NVMe hat for my Pi 4 to make it an actual Linux box. Hey, well, congratulations. I hope that that works out really well for you. Yeah, yeah. I might have to look into that. Admittedly, not afraid to say it. I usually focus more on things that are more fun or more beneficial to certain hobbies or certain pursuits that I have. But I'm gonna give the thought a fair shake, is what I'm gonna say. Because if there is a way for me to improve, then I might try that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we're back at square one with this intersection. I don't know what's up, but uh I run into this every like 3 or 4 streams that I do, or every 3 or 4 runs that I do into Japan, and I have to get out of Kanazawa. There's a problem at the intersection, and they just don't want to move. You cooked a turkey dinner, and tomorrow you have to cook a ham. Wow, man. Well, it's interesting that you should mention that. Earlier this year, I got a ham, a big ham, like a ham steak, but like a big piece of ham. I would say it was somewhere between 30 to 40 pounds. And we had it in our freezer for a while, and we were like, oh, well, what are we going to do with this? Well, as it turned out, we decided, oh, I know what happened. We got an order of groceries the one day, and what I do is, since Mrs. Digi has difficulty getting around, I will typically, run the groceries in. She'll put them away. She's a really good hand at like rearranging stuff in the freezer and in the fridge, but we ran out of room. So she's like, okay, like this ham won't fit here anymore. What are we gonna do? So I put out a word to my friends, and then I put out a word to my in-laws, and they were able to. My in-laws were able to take the ham and actually make ham steak with it, which is really good. Yeah, yeah, it was very tasty, very tasty. I gotta say. So we we enjoyed that. I think we enjoyed that for the better part of a week. Oh, and oh, by the way, if you want to make like the ultimate ham and cheese sandwich, slice up ham steak and put it in the oven with like say, grilled cheese or your choice of cheese, whether it's Swiss, provolone, whatever you want to say. Put it in the oven and make a grilled cheese sandwich. The ham just comes out so nice. It looks like whoever it was up there really wiped out. That taxi's just busted. Noted. We'll try. Attaboy. Um, seriously, like the the deal with that is the different kind of ham is amazing. Or at least, excuse me, when you don't have like deli meat or processed ham and you make a grilled cheese sandwich, it is just it's a different kind of way. Um, what am I gonna do? Do I risk it or do I go into the menu? Let's go into the menu for like 30 seconds and see if the traffic resets. There was a version of Project Japan, which released for the newest version of Euro Truck Simulator, but I tried that today and it did not work. Or excuse me, it did not work for me. I was able to get it running, but I would not have been able to port over my current character who's a level 10. So I would have had to start from scratch. And I wrote in my Discord, I said, this isn't going to work for me right now. The next major update that they do where they add more to the map and require more downloadable content, I'll start over then, but just not right now. Sit and wait simulator. Okay, that's 30 seconds and they're still there. Do I have anybody behind me? I'm pretty sure I do. Oh, we are in traffic, chat. Look at all this traffic. Uh, and I just happened to have a police car next to me. I just happened to have a police car next to me. And that taxi ain't going anywhere. Okay, so I'm done waiting. This game sets you up. Yeah, I'm gonna risk a ticket. Oh, what? I can't get on the curb? Hang on. There we go. So, here's my trick. I'm gonna ride the berm, and if I get a ticket, I get a ticket. Wow, look at the collision detection on that taxi. Oh, look at that. It just happened to jump up. I don't know. I think it was either a rendering issue or there was a literal accident, but the collision detection didn't work from so far away, so it sank into the ground, which is a little bit weird, but we're past that point now. If you're waiting for me, thank you. Also, you kind of stopped awkwardly in the intersection, so a little bit strange, but thank you nonetheless. Yes, but where were we? Food. Um, Over the last couple of years, I've become a bit of a foodie and a cook. I've always been a foodie, but I've been a much bigger foodie and cook over the last couple of years, making more meals and figuring out how to do things. A couple of areas of specialty for me are making rice and making food on the grill on the counter, and also using a pressure cooker. It The pressure cooker is a game changer if you want to cook food in a relatively short period of time. Um, there is a possibility that I'm going to be going to Vegas next year. I'm a software developer, and there are there's an opportunity to attend this conference. So I'm going to be going to this conference for I guess learning about stuff, and I am also going to hopefully hopefully be able to go down to Florida with family and spend time there, but I don't know when. Don't know when. I don't know if that's going to be something I'm going to do. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I take that back. I do know when, and unless anything changes with regards to, availability or, issues, which Yahweh permitting it won't, I will most likely partake of that trip. The experience in Vegas is it's still on the table. I mean, there's still some stuff that has to happen before it actually comes through. But at the same time, I am down with it if it happens. I'm also down with it if it doesn't. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, pressure cooker is also a crock pot. So yeah, we've done slow cooked cuisine as well, which is amazing. And other than that, I I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence about going to Expo in Minneapolis. I don't know how many folks are going to be going to Flight Sim Expo this year. I, to be completely transparent, I almost feel like waiting until it goes back either to the West Coast or the East Coast or to Vegas or to Houston, like somewhere that I haven't been. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, above and beyond everything, it literally whatchamacallit, it literally depends on what's going to happen with our finances and our ability to do that. So we'll see. We'll see. Right now, I'm probably going to say no. I might change my mind, but yeah, I'm going to say no for now. I've been busy with work. I've also been busy trying to do a few personal projects as well. If anybody's been following me on Discord or on certain Discords across that universe, I've been coding a video game. I've also got plans to get back into scenery development, and I think coding has given me a bit of a chance to use my brain in different ways and also just enjoy the experience. So, if assuming I get back to scenery development soon, which I want to, I'll work on finishing the one project I started a little while ago, which is Lafayette Regional in Louisiana, and also then go fully 2024 native development and redo or restart my projects in that sim as well. I've never been to Vegas though, so assuming that we go, it will be a Mrs. Digi and me trip. And even if she just, chills in a hotel while I go to the conference things and attend the seminars, then that'll be what it'll be. Thank you, Crafton. I appreciate that. That's way overdue for an update, but I'm gonna be redoing the scenery for 2024 as is. I'm not going to be transferring it. It's not going to be like a redo. I'm sorry. It's not going to be a transfer and like a changeover. It's literally going to be a from scratch deal. And the reason why I opt to do things like that is because I I want it to be native, and I don't want any kind of inconsistencies with the new textures and things like that. When I redid Higginsville, it it gave me a chance to play with different texture sets. So good, nice. I mean, I've certainly never been to Nellis Air Force Base. I don't think I turned down the opportunity. I don't think, especially if I could see some really cool tech or some fighters. I remember a couple of years ago when I took a family trip to Alaska, when we landed in Fairbanks, we got to see, I, th- we definitely heard the fighters. I think I saw one or two of them take off as well, which is kind of dope. Yes. Yes, indeed. Oof, just missed hitting something, which is cool. Hopefully you're doing all right, Sogan. Good evening to you. Just a glancing blow. Actually, I didn't hit anything, fortunately, other than the curb. But welcome, everybody. Um, Debating what I want to do after this delivery. I might step away temporarily to um, grab some snacks from the digital truck stop, if you will, and then decide whether or not I want to take another one or two deliveries. Deliveries in Project Japan, they work differently than what you might be accustomed to in, say, you know, standard Euro Truck Sim map or American Truck Sim. Because Project Japan has, I'd say, two or three or four major areas that are connected by ships and ferries, kind of like the ship we just took to get to Tokyo from Kanazawa. So basically, you bridge the gap that way, and I'm hopeful that one of these days they're going to be able to make even more of Japan drivable. Always the key, but it's not quite there yet. It's almost there, but not quite. So you still have to get your power supply unit nailed down, Sogan. Okay. Rock out. Hey, you eating lunch right now? Let's go. I have half a beef sandwich waiting for me in the fridge, which I'll probably grab once I'm done streaming for tonight. But I'm probably gonna run out if I take a quick break to grab a snack or two for Mrs. DG if we do a second one. I think I'd like to. I like driving in Japan. I like exploring these places. If I can do a run from, say, Yokohama to Tokyo, that'd be cool. It won't pay a lot, but it'd be contiguous driving. Or I could go from Yokohama to Tokyo and then take a ship to Osaka and drive out to Kobe. Ooh, nice. So Coke, cherry Coke. Let's see, lunch. So spaghetti. Sogan's having chicken. Yeah, good eats are happening. I'm happy. And apparently we're making Mrs. Digi hungry. So I I definitely think truck stop break is inbound. Nice. And of course, just taking a moment to thank all of you. I know I've said this before. I might sound like a broken record. I don't care. I'm grateful to each and every person that has given support, whether it's in chat comments or in bit cheers or subs. Um, really appreciate your support. This year has been a bit of a roller coaster, and it's nice to hang out with you guys and have you guys help me to have people to catch up with as well. Slam a ton of greasy trucker food. Let me tell you a little story about that. We ordered in a few nights ago, and there was an option to get a burger grilled cheese. I doubled up on the burger patties. So basically, I had like a half pound double grilled cheeseburger. I had to eat it in 2 nights because it was so big. It tasted so good, by the way, but it was a little crazy. What's that? Oh, yeah, about that. See, like I'm a creature of convenience, so take me out of my routine and the dynamic changes like instantly. I don't eat as consistently, I don't drink as consistently. I whatchamacallit, like I need a routine to keep my habits calibrated. So if I don't have a routine, it's like, oh, well, uh, yeah, I'm busy, so I'm not going to drink or eat anything right now. And the body eventually, chimes in and says, hey, dude, you got to take care of me. So there's that. I am a teensy bit curious about what they call intermittent fasting, but at the same time, I'm not like, in a hurry to do it. Um, you you might say my accidental fits of intermittent fasting are when I wake up in the morning and I have to do a whole bunch of stuff before we go out to spend time with family, and I wind up not eating for like 5 or 6 hours. And supposedly the science behind that is that you actually get your body to replenish itself or something if you do it right. Pretty sure I'm not doing it right. So there's ways of making it work for you, but I have yet to investigate that. So it's not a high priority for me at the moment. Hey, RCX 1981. How's it going, Rudy? Hope you're doing well. Much love to you and the fam. Um, Rudy, I'm going to say this right now. The, the the way Book teases you every Christmas with like you not getting a Ninja slushie machine, I'm telling you this right now, and I'm actually serious. If I had the money, I would probably have bought you one. I'm not kidding, by the way. Like, if I was in a spot where, like, I had the ability to get people stuff like that, I'd have been like, "You're getting one." And I'd have been like, "Book, give me his address. Get on Discord, send me DM, give me his address. He's getting a Ninja Slush machine." And then, of course, Book would be like, "No, no, he's not getting one." But I'd be like, "Dude, do I have to keep pestering you? Make it happen." Crafton, have a great, great rest of your day. Love your soul, my friend. God bless you in Jesus' name. Uh, Rudy, like seriously, like if there's any kind of doubt in your head, I would have been like, how much does it cost? Boom, money on table. Let's go. just, just for the opportunity for you to tell, for you to tell Buck something like, hey, I woke up this morning. Guess what flavor slushy I had? Uh, I'm grateful to know you. I'm grateful to know Book of Gaming. You guys are such a blessing to be able to hang out with you guys. Um, even when any one of us is having, a crummy day or just not feeling the best. Coke slushy? Yes. Frozen Coke. Frozen Coke. Uh, actually, actually, I laugh, but that was a thing for a little while, at least temporarily. You could get frozen Coke or Coke slushies, you know, in a supermarket, like in the frozen section. Anything slushy, maple syrup slushy. Ooh, maple syrup slushy. That'd be a trip. Wow. Yes, I mean, we're fixing to go real deep down the slushy rabbit hole. And I think I just saw your comment, Sogan, about fasting. I think I had to be careful because even though I'm mostly over it, I had a little bit of an episode a couple months, actually, yeah, a couple months ago, where I thought I genuinely hurt myself, and it was just a really, really bad bout of acid reflux. I mean, like, I'm still careful. Like, I'm staying away from exorbitant amounts of, like, you know, jalapenos and stuff like that. But I, 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 I learned a few things along the way. Like, after a certain point at night, it's just best for me not to eat anything massive. Definitely not anything greasy. And um, after a certain point at night, I whatchamacallit, I I try to eat light. Uh, you know, de- definitely no coffee past a certain time. And I have drunk coffee at like 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and been fine asleep after a certain point. Like I literally just shut down. But I think as I get older, the reflux action on coffee is going to make it difficult for me to do that at certain times of the day. Hey, hey, Iowa Scotsman, thank you. Appreciate your support, my friend. I did have a nice Christmas. I missed some family and some friends, but at the same time, the family I was able to hang out with, we got a chance to spend time together, and had a very nice Christmas dinner yesterday. So thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Thank you. Hope you're having a very good week. Um, it's amazing how much of just an experience it's been to come into the trailing end of like December, which is utterly amazing. Hot dog slushy. No. But okay, okay. Why no? Because depending on the ingredients, I might try a sip of a bacon slushy. However, bacon needs to be the garnish, not the main ingredient. I gotta have like, berries or like copious amounts of like OJ or something. Like create some kind of like, a fruity frozen, almost like a blendini thing, and then sprinkle some bacon on top. Then do that, but not before. Cause I don't want a whole bunch of bacon coming through the flavor profile. That might be gross. Gravy slushy. Mm, well, that's just frozen gravy. That's just gravy that you accidentally stuck in the freezer because you ran out of room in the fridge, and now you come out. You pull out the gravy jar, and it's just frozen gravy. That's a no judgment zone. Hey, I mean, some of us have advanced culinary palates. I don't know that I'll ever eat caviar, but some people enjoy that kind of thing. If that's you, rock on. Oops, oops, hit the curb. That's right. You're starting to think the boundary is warm foods. I'd say you're warm. Dad jokes inbound. Um, yeah, yeah. I genuinely think. I genuinely do think. Well, hold on. No, no, because if you were gonna say sweet plantain slushy with some fruit, I would be all over that. And I don't have sweet plantains cold. They're usually served hot. The plantain. Um, so definitely, it's not warm foods per se. It's savory foods. Gator slushy. Mm, no. If the boundary line, or if the boundary line for consideration is whether or not it's a part of the drink at all, I could be cajoled into sprinkling a teensy bit of gator on the slushy. But again, changing the flavor profile of the slushy, no bueno. I would have to say, I would have to say that warm, sweet foods are acceptable. Savory foods, hot or cold, gotta be limited. Gotta be limited. Ride gator slushy. This is funny. I almost wish Book were here just so he could weigh in. I had an alligator croquette once on a cruise ship, and I also had frog. Um, Mrs. Digi is vigorously saying, no, no, I don't like that. Um, Gator jerky, I could probably eat. I tell you what, when I went to Alaska, I had uh, deer sausage, and that was good. I think that was lean. I do not think it was that greasy. I had plenty of salmon though. That was amazing. Whoo! For real, for real. Oh man. But good stuff. Good driving conversation. This is good stuff. Um, no, wait, I have to go in through the entrance. So why did it take me down this place? Huh. Oh, wait. Can you actually go in through there? I don't think you can. Nope. All right. Let me go ahead and get turned around. Just in time for a little bit of sunset action. So nice. I would most likely agree that fried gator would be the way for me to go if I was going to have it anytime soon. Yeah, I'd say. These days, I like keeping my palate, well trained and predictable. I'd say a few a few culinary experiences between air quotes. Just a few. But I would say most of what I've had these days is whatchamacallit is pretty tame. Can I go that way? I think I can. Oh no, wait. I'm making things complicated for myself. Hang on. Jalapeno slushy? Absolutely not. No. De- Definitely not right now with my gastric situation, which isn't a situation anymore. But I'm saying like I'm not interested in risking it for a biscuit. I don't even think I'd do that if somebody wanted to pay me. So the question is the no. Can I? You know what? I think I'm gonna go this way. All right, let's go here and let's just make sure we can actually get to the place. And probably go through here and just drive around like I own the joint. Yeah, I had to come in, but I don't think that's a doorway. Where'd you need it? Let's play it safe. Don't care. All right, so first delivery. Not too bad. How long did that take me? That took me about 54 minutes. You don't want burning throat and coffee? No, no, I'm good. Not at all. All right. Any of the job offers that are closer range? That requires quite a bit of driving. Um, and it only gets longer range. Hmm. Let's see. How many kilometers of actual driving? 155 kilometers. 28:36. I'm assuming the trip is going to take me about 24 hours. Probably like, yeah, 20 some odd minutes. Well, 30 some odd minutes with the traffic from Yokohama to Tokyo and then go to Matsuyama. I don't know where the boat is, though. I don't know. Let me. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it anyway. We'll take salt and spices to Matsuyama. And it is. Is it behind me? Like fully behind me? Let's see. It is over there. Let's see. The hope, of course, is that that trailer that's in the air is not going to affect my collision detection. And it shouldn't. There we go. Okay. A little bit of immersion ruinage, but it's okay. It is not officially licensed. It isn't. Um, this is a passion project. This is a bunch of people that know their way around scenery development for Euro Truck Simulator 2 that are putting Lego pieces together um, to be able to create Japan. And I would imagine probably after Northern Horizons finishes, that they're whatchamacallit, they're probably going to have the necessary things in place to probably build the next major chunk. Do I know that they're working on that right now? No. Would I like to be included in any kind of beta testing such that I could see what they're doing? That would be wonderful, but I don't know that for a fact. All right, now let's head on out of here. Get my documents checked. And this will be my second and final delivery for today. Wasn't there another exit? I could be wrong. But you know what? I guess that exit was for outbound traffic. I don't know. I should be fine. There we go. I'm gonna have to figure that out at some point again. But wait, where was the exit? What lane was that? No, there's no lane there. So that means it would have had to have been through the other exit, which I didn't think opened before. Okay, I'll have to check that out in the future. But such is truck driving life. Japan the risk of consuming ramen after a Project Japan stream, and talking about frozen slushies with increasingly more exotic ingredients. Ah, good stuff. Nice. Made the green light. Let me get turned. I saw a chat message come in. I've been tempted to try making chanko. I don't know what chanko is, but it does sound exotic. Actually, not that far away from where I live, there are multiple opportunities to go check out Asian supermarkets where you can get like the real deal ingredients and make food that you'd be interested or you'd want to try that you usually have to go to a restaurant to enjoy. And Mrs. Digi really likes it because there's a place she can go to get sushi, like authentic Korean sushi. Oh, well-rounded meal, nice. I'm actually curious about MREs. I'd like to have one sometime in the near future. I don't know how expensive they are though, and I'm not sure whether or not they'd be compatible with me. Although I'm reasonably sure that they're going to be tasty and they're going to be densely packed with nutrients. Flavor may be optional, but all the MRE reviews that I've seen where they do not eat expired MREs, they generally seem to be okay, like really okay. So I am certainly curious about such things as those. Meanwhile, we gotta go back up the Bayshore route to get to Tokyo, to get to the pier, and go to Matsushima, which is just south of, I believe, Hiroshima. I think. And again, thanks to everybody that tuned in today. Appreciate having all of you around. And Defo will probably be chilling after this stream with some evening late night snackage and probably a really, really chill offline flight or maybe even some retro gaming. I debated the idea of buying one of those game system thingies on Amazon, but I think there's some probably some things that are climbing the charts in terms of um, a more favorable financial expenditure. I'll do a little bit more research tonight and come to a head on what I want to do. Definitely after the stream. I'm not going to be making any choices about what to buy right now, but it depends. Delightfully mediocre, possibly. Okay. The skybox in this game is incredible. The clouds are bang on real life. Whoa. Stand by, chat. My immersion. Hold on. Okay. Definitely. I'm back, chat. Let me just check my levels real fast. Okay, good, good. Let's get back into it. Previously on X-Men. Let's see, we just got off the second of two bridges going to... Actually, that was the only one bridge. The second bridge takes me to Daikoku Futo, which is... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, we did do two bridges to get to Yokohama. Daikoku Futo is the area that we're in right now, which has that parking area where there's like a lot of import, well, not import, but domestic cars that show up there. Some imports as well. Okay, we've got a ways to go before we actually get to our ship. I'd say another 20-ish minutes of driving, and then we should be able to get there. And yeah, we're definitely going to call it after we get our second delivery done today. Am I doing anything else tomorrow or this weekend? I'm probably going to say no, with the possible exception of Sunday if the weather is crummy and I know I'm not going anywhere. But even then, I don't know. I've been I've been coasting into the end of this year, and I almost wondered about like next week taking a break and just being, you know, a stream observer instead of a streamer. It depends. Still got a good chunk of gasoline, so I think we're okay. Must have been tired too, and just trying to figure out stuff with regards to, hobbies, pursuits, figuring out how to get the year started. All right, back up we go. I'm going to go back up the Bayshore route because it is the most convenient method for me, and it is the least irritating, I'm going to say. Yeah, I can get back to Tokyo going that way as well. You go up to this highway called K1 instead of Highway B, which is the Bayshore route. But it's definitely narrower in spots, and that's not something I'm interested in doing right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and avoid that. When I wrap up, it should be just past 10 o'clock, I'd say. So still well on the way to being a nice evening. I'll definitely make some late night snackage for Mrs. DG and myself, and take tomorrow as it comes and see what happens. And again, to all my friends and to those folks tuning in for the very first time, thank you for being here today. I am in Euro Truck Simulator 2. This is a mod called Project Japan. It is a map modification where you can drive certain segments of roads across Japan as a whole. They're not all connected in every possible sense, but you can um, go between sections by taking ferries, and it's an interesting way to see the country. Also, wow. Let me see if I can take a shot of this. Right about here. Yeah. Oh wow, look at that. Different shot from here, maybe. Ooh, potentially even better. That works. Yeah, we we had a discussion about that the last time I think I was in MSFS, and I landed at the what was it, like the federal tax building or something? Yeah, I think that's what it was. I'm pretty sure it's what it was actually. I think if I was gonna pick any cartoon to rewatch, I don't know. I think I'd be slightly hard pressed to pick one. I don't know if I would know which one to choose. I think the last the last one that I watched that I really engaged in was Initial D fourth stage. And I liked it at that point. Watching anything right now, I could be easily convinced to watch a run of episodes from Star Trek, like Next Generation, not not Brave New Worlds. I think I've talked about this with some people before, but I have this well developed sense of, we'll call it sequelitis, where I've seen an episode or a season of a particular show, and I am not interested in seeing something newer on the premise that I'm afraid what I do see will ruin the experience for me. So that's where I am at right now, at least. But I could be wrong. All right, we're not that far away from Tokyo Pier, and then once we do that, it hopefully won't take long for me to get to our destination. Good chance I'm going to complete this run in the dark, though, and that's fine. Wait. Refresh my memory. That's what shows up in the scrolly Star Warsy thing at the beginning of the movie, right? Because I think that's what they actually wrote. And it's okay. Like, there was a time when I was chugging the Kool-Aid. I'll admit that. Um, I'll also admit that I'm really not as much a fan of Star Wars as I used to be, and I used to be a big time fan. So, um, I'm also not afraid to admit that either. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I've watched the entire saga from like 1 to 9, and you know, was able to reconcile with the characters and the character arcs, and that's cool, and that's fine and all. But I'm most likely never going to watch the entire series all over again. By that I mean, the numbered ones. I'm probably never going to do that because I feel like I've really hit my limit. Whereas, um, next generation stuff, Star Trek Next Generation, I I want to say there's so much curiosity that I have because I haven't seen that many episodes, but it's sincerely, for me, sincerely limited to just the next generation, not like anything else like the TNG movies or the original Star Trek. I'm good. Maybe maybe Star Trek 4: The Voyage Home. And 5 I did watch. But basically, I'm just interested in what I call Picard canon. Ah, I'm bottom lining it for me. I think the last couple of years, really, 2, 3 years, I've been busy enough to not really care about going to a movie theater at all. So maybe that's another reason why. But but definitely, without question, I am nowhere near the Star Wars aficionado I used to be, and I'm pretty sure I'm not one now. So it's okay. It was an interesting endeavor to to have seen the movies, but I don't think they're going to be movies I'm going to look at again anytime soon. But like I said, when I saw them all, I liked them. All right. Off to Matsushima or Matsushima. And do I have to take another? Hold on, hold on. Okay, yeah, that's the one that I want. Okay, definitely a night drop. Well, okay. I mean, I'm gonna hit the nostalgia button and just think back to when I used to actually go to the movies. Whether it was with family, with friends, or when I was dating Mrs. Digi, there was something about being able to go to the movie theater and pay what we thought was a slightly expensive price back then and get really really potent um, buttered popcorn, which is very salty. Uh, like share a huge soda, and I would get the popcorn. Mrs. Digi would get the nachos, and dip we dip the popcorn in the nacho sauce, which was amazing, and then you know catch a movie. But also gonna say again, I pretty much have zero reason to catch any movie like that these days. Flat out. Hey, Kev, welcome. I hope you had a nice time out, Kev. Welcome aboard. we are on our second and final delivery for tonight, and we are on our way to, I think I said Matsushima? Oh, wow. Emotions. I think we'll make, I think we'll make this. Dun, dun, dun. All right, one more bridge, and then probably some surface streets to our destination. That's this convoy here. Yes, yes, we were. I was talking about how I grew up watching Star Wars films, and you know I liked them back in the day. I don't really find a need to rewatch them like I used to. I used to rewatch the original trilogy almost incessantly, and these days I can't be bothered. I like Star Trek: The Next Generation more. At the same time, I'm more of an interactive dude, and I like playing old games as well. This isn't an old game, but it's been out for a while, so you could argue that this is actually the same. The closest I came to watching the original trilogy in the theaters was when I saw Star Wars Enhanced Edition, and this was like like 90. I want to say 97, 98, either before or after they released the the actual like first trilogy. Excuse me, the second prequel trilogy. I would say it is also possible that because I'm using Stream Labs a bit, it might actually be chopping at this point, and that's regrettable because I know I definitely don't like it when it's choppy when I'm in flight sim mode, but that sucks. Yeah, and I think that's what's going on. I don't know, but I might try to tweak settings a bit next time to see if I can avoid having that happen. Okay, okay. I mean, like it's definitely a pet peeve of mine if I'm tracking the stream at all and I see that, for example, I start to see massive stuttering, then that's like a such a disappointment. Stand by, chat. Hold on. Gotta check something. Indeed. Reflecting Times, brought to you by DigiDriver. All right, let's finish this. So, things happened, and things are done happening, and we're almost to our destination. 20 minutes of sim time away, probably like 5 minutes or so of game time. And I've been through here before, but I did not pay much attention to the scenery at the time. Almost done. Kilometers go by pretty quick, but the map scale in Japan is different. Um, Datsun Z. Matsuyama, there we go. Goal is in sight. Will I be around later tonight on different channels and such? Probably. More likely tomorrow. But I don't know that I'm going to be streaming anymore this weekend. Again, if I do anything, it's either going to be tomorrow or Sunday if I'm not traveling. Which might be a possibility depending on the weather. Might be. Might be. Would be an issue. Ooh. Wow. That's a turn. There we go. I forgot how twisty this was. And again, thanks to everybody that tuned in today and spent time hanging out. I definitely enjoyed this little break from flying fake planes. Not afraid to admit that I'm trying to suck out more enjoyable experiences from FS 2024, and I find myself a little challenged to do so. I think it has mostly to do with the things that need to be done to make the experience better. So that's a me problem. I'm going to be working on that, and we'll see what happens. I also certainly don't know what's going to happen come next year. Lord willing, things change, but I want to take more agency of how to make the most out of my stimming experience. I found myself doing some stuff in Flight Simulator X recently for fun. It turns out it was a good call. It was really enjoyable. You you mean the high? That's a bad joke. Um, one of the rare moments where Digit actually had a, disclaimer, no pun intended, moment. But yeah, it was great to spend time hanging out and catching up. It was a privilege to catch you on stream when you were on. I definitely like saying hi and like seeing you do your thing. I just think I think I'm just gonna go out and say it. You know, I've been a bit meh, in terms of making certain things happen, and it's okay because I've learned so much lately, and I can apply that to my experiences going forward. In hobbies and life, all this stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and send it. Excuse me, phone it in because I do need to head out. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you to everybody that tuned in today. Thank you to Iowa Wisconsin for the resub. Thank you to everybody that hung out and lurked. Don't feel bad if you didn't chat. I'm pretty sure most of you don't, but thank you for being here and for boosting channel visibility. Really like that. I will most likely be around other chats this weekend, once or twice. Next week, depending on what I'm doing, possible streams inbound on New Year's Eve. Not at night, because that's family time. Possibly either New Year's Day or the day after. And then I think once that's done, it's going to be, back to business as usual. One stream, usually on Saturdays or something. And we'll see what happens. I appreciate your support, Kev, by the way. It really means a lot to me. More Lawsons than 7-Elevens. Depending on what happens with the next major update, I mean, that might happen. You say 7-Eleven, I'm actually looking way more forward to getting 7-Elevens to start stocking more Asian fare stateside. But guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and grab some late night snacks for myself and for Mrs. Digi. From the pretend offices of the Digi Driver Studios, I want to say thank you so much for spending time with me this evening. And like I always like to say at the end of every stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that is Jesus Christ. My friends, a genuine privilege having you aboard with me. Thanks for enjoying me and indulging me in a little bit of Project Japan action. And we will see what happens with the rest of this weekend and the week ahead. Yahweh permitting, we will see this next week through to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And then we'll take it 1 kilometer or nautical mile at a time. Love to everyone here. And until next time, we will see you. Bye.